Today's episode is brought to you by the best store in the universe. Thousands of shirts, but not really. Shop now and support the show at MaddoxRules.com. Welcome to the best debate in the universe. Every debate in the universe, from building walls to enraged balls. With over 5 million downloads, I'm your host, Maddox. With me is the Rear Admiral of Tangents, Ron Babcock.
Thank you, Maddox.
And Deputy Moderator, Kirk WIlcox.
Boom shakalaka.
And Guest Moderator, Igor.
Hi.
Welcome back to the show. Guys, we've got an exciting show, a big one this week. We're going to be talking about what's the goofiest, dumbass regional food. That is the debate this week, and we've got
There's so many.
There's a ton.
There's a lot, and what's great about it is that each one, like, people are so fucking proud of it.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah. Kirk, you just came back from Detroit, you said, right?
Yes.
And I think this was not a Detroit story, but I went to St. Louis one time. And
Same thing.
It's not even close to Detroit.
What's the difference?
They were the 2006 World Series. Okay?
Yeah, they're both places you don't want to visit that often. But that's right. Before we get too far ahead, I want to introduce our guest this week. He's a longtime friend of mine. We've probably known each other for 15 years at least. He started out like as a blogger himself, and then went deep into photography. An amazing photographer, has published several books. His name is Igor. Igor, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. We've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure we met, in the EN days, like 2001, 2002.
So for those who don't know what EN is, it is a genre of website it's E/N, which stands for everything or nothing, which is kind of like content aggregators before there was Facebook.
It's like blog before blog was a blog,
Basically, yeah.
It was sort of, we're doing everything and nothing, and then other people are like, they're doing nothing,
Yeah. Basically.
It was an insult as well as...
It was a self-deprecating kind of a category. And Igor, I've seen your career trajectory just take off, and it's amazing because people will seek him out for photographs. And what's your main style of photography?
You want me to talk about naked people?
Yeah.
Is that what you...
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Oh, you're the one who... I know a coffee book you did.
Yeah.
I remember because Maddox was saying that I recognize your photos, and you didn't say which book. And now that you said naked people, I can't remember the name of the book, but I remember looking at the book and remember being awesome.
Yeah, I photograph naked people, but I do a lot of other stuff too. Juggalos. That's my next book. Juggalos.
That's right. Yeah. Igor does these amazing photojournalism spreads when he goes to the ICP festivals.
Yeah, the Gathering of the Juggalos is going to be my 10th one this year.
Yeah, it's so
You've
much fun.
been to the Gathering of the Juggalos 10 times?
Well, 9, but yeah.
What is your favorite flavor of Faygo?
Root beer.
Cream soda.
Without skipping a beat. Wow, both of you guys. Are you an ICP
He's from
fan?
Detroit.
Are you a ninja?
Faygo is a Michigan brand of soda, so I grew up with it.
Okay, that's why.
Is it, when you go to these festivals and you're photographing people, is it difficult to, like how do you approach people to photograph them?
You just take their photo. I mean,
yeah,
you just ask. I don't know. Yeah,
they're like, it's not a weird thing. They're like, yeah, totally, man.
So when I started doing it, there wasn't any other media covering it, so they just assumed that I was a juggalo, and people are just very happy to, no one in the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of juggalo tourists because it's been outside of Cleveland, outside of Oklahoma City, so people could stay at a hotel and go to it. And so there's a lot of people who just go and be like, oh, this is weird. I want to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos. But juggalos assume you're there for the same reason they're there, So no one there was weird about the media until, I don't know, a few years in, people started getting a little weird about it, but I was there so long that most people knew me. And so I remember last year I was doing some stuff for Vice, and they were like, fuck Vice, fuck you, to this girl. And I just was like, yo, I'm driven by boredom. They were like, oh, he's cool. It's fine. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have favorite things to photograph? Do you like photographing people?
Yeah, I mean, people is all I photograph pretty much.
Yeah, Igor also does this thing where he likes to take candid photos of people eating.
That's true.
I think he has several unflattering photos of me with a Cuban food in my mouth.
I don't think there is a flattering photo that you could have of you eating. I've seen you eat, and it is fucking atrocious.
Yeah,
my second book
some people would say.
was Dinner with Igor, and I think you're in there a couple times.
Yeah, okay. And so this is a funny story. I think this is one of your photos, but a friend of mine you
Yes.
want to,
Yes.
yeah.
I want to meet him.
Oh,
Is he around?
He's an amazing dude. So I met this guy, this dude Tyler. I met. So I go to these like pool parties in the summer at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those are fun.
The ones where like
Night swim.
it's night swim, and it's just like it's full of like like the usual bar patrons, and then the club douchebags, and then me just like literally just floating in the pool with a beer on my belly, and I don't give a fuck. I'm just like hanging out. One time I was there, I saw this guy stand off the edge and like call out to his friends because he's gonna do a dive, and he does the biggest fucking belly flop I've ever seen. He gets up, his chest is completely red, and I look closely, and he's got a giant Grim Reaper tattoo on his chest with tits on it, and I'm like, I don't know who that guy is, but we're gonna become friends. So I walk over to that guy and we start talking, and we we started hitting it off immediately. And he also he recognized me as Maddox, and so we started talking. We became friends. So back to Igor's story though. Igor went to an ICP event, and there's a picture that you took of somebody who was, I guess, eating ass or something with the full clown makeup.
That's absolutely what happened, yeah. On stage in front of hundreds of people.
But here's the best part. When they pulled their face away, there was a perfect imprint of their clown costume inside the person's ass.
And he's not like a scary clown. He's like a regular clown. So it's like... It is... I didn't... The photo that I posted from that was not even the photo. Like, I didn't want to post... It was so graphic. I was like, I can't post this. Yeah. So I took a photo of my camera, and I was like, no one... I shouldn't put this, on the internet, but this is the thing. And I said something about no one liking or retweeting it, and some journalist or something was like, want to bet, and retweeted it, and it exploded on the internet.
It exploded, so to speak. So my friend Tyler got this thing, and then like got it blown up, a big print of it, and then got it framed.
God,
and it's in his house now.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
In a gold Rococo frame, maybe. It is. It's beautiful. And you're not the only person who's sent me a text of them in front of it. Like other people, I think maybe 3 people have sent me a photo.
We have a lot of mutual friends, it seems. We've got in the chat room Stan Morris. What up, Stan? He goes, I want to read. He's talking about your naked book. There's a lot of good reading in that.
And I want to
read it.
Not a lot of words.
Not a lot of words. Stan also 99-cent super chat. Thank you, Stan. Stan the man, Stan Morris from NEA Report in Arkansas. Please check him out. Follow the Facebook group. He does some amazing independent journalism, and he's the real deal. He's gotten like cops held accountable for corruption. He got a guy out of jail who would have gone to jail, this guy's entire life was destroyed, and Stan uncovered the story of like corruption in Arkansas, and so he's like, he's like digging up some dirt. It's amazing stuff. Follow Stan Morris. And we've got Taylor in the chat room. Taylor, thank you so much. He linked to Boner Jenga. Oh, he's linking to your Boner Jenga gift.
My thing that'll be in my when I die. A little bit. He's famous as being the Jenga guy.
Yeah,
which I'm really glad my mom doesn't know how to use the internet.
Oh, it's so funny. It's really great stuff. Heavy Cream says, is there a Babcock tip for that? I'm assuming the ass eating. We do have a Babcock tip at the later end of the show, at the tail end of the show. Also, sorry, Ron loves that shit. Dig X in the chat room says, you guys still use Facebook oldies. All right, and so near the tail end of the show, we got a new Babcock tip. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a recap of last week's debate. No news, but we do have voicemail. And I do want to make a pretty big announcement, guys. This show is coming to an end. And I'm going to announce that next episode, we're going to record Saturday, July 6th. I believe that's July 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the final episode of The Best Debate because of a number of reasons. We've got coming up, so I've been doing a lot of conventions. I just wrapped up E3. I've also got VidCon coming up, and we've got Comic-Con coming up. So I'm going to be taking off collectively like 2-3 weeks there, and then you're also, Ron, you're working on your own projects.
Yeah, I'm working on my own stuff. Got some stuff kind of in the pipeline that I'm excited about.
Very exciting stuff. And I do too, which I haven't announced yet, and I won't until it's ready to. But it's big, big stuff coming up. And also, guys, I'm doing 2 podcasts at this point. I'm doing the Godzilla podcast, which has really taken off.
I'm excited for you to start making more videos, man.
Yeah,
I always love your videos.
That's the other thing. A lot of people have been requesting me to make more videos and do more writing.
Even if it's the stuff I don't know about. Like, I didn't have no idea what the video game shit was about, but I like that video.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was one of my favorite videos that I've done in a long time, and that's something I've been wanting to do for so long, but this podcast takes so much fucking time. And I know that the fans, the listeners of this show really appreciate it because I get so many compliments from people who say, thank God your podcast is produced, because I hate tuning into a podcast where it's just people rambling. There's, coughs and burps and
just fucking burps.
You know what, Ron? Maybe I may keep it. I may not.
Yeah.
I may add some more burps.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
God.
But
just Igor, it's because the cans are right here, and like the burp goes into the microphone and into the cans and into my ears, and it's a way too intimate. You know what I mean? What? Like that.
But there we go.
That's
yeah. There we go. That's a manly.
I just feel it going down my throat, you know?
Yeah. Well, you're welcome for that. But also, Rick and Morty is one of the most popular TV shows, popular animated.
Yeah, but I don't watch it with headphones on.
Okay, fair enough. But if you do, guys, you're welcome for those burps. But we do take pride in the quality of this show. Like, we spend quite a lot of time. I have booked. We've done. This is our 137th episode.
Yeah, we take so much pride. We almost always forget to press record.
Look, just because you take pride in something doesn't mean you do it well.
I'm just upset the soundboard doesn't work.
Yeah, the soundboard's
low
we
rent
take
show.
pride in a well-produced show. Sorry about the soundboard. Also, did we press record? Okay, good.
It's usually working, but here's mine. Kirk, let's hear your sound effect.
Nut.
And Igor.
What the fuck is going on here?
Okay, great. That's a great sound effect. And Ron. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's the classic air horn.
Those are the sound effects you're going to hear this week, guys, because, yes, the soundboard is down for our second to last episode. I'm going to announce next week what we're going to do with the future of the shows. The Godzilla podcast isn't going anywhere. That's also taken off. It's a life of its own, but it's a different style of podcast. It is not a Maddox podcast, and it's intentional because I don't want Maddox to take the focus from Godzilla. It's about Godzilla, and that's
Do you think if Godzilla had a spirit animal... Excuse me, if Maddox had a spirit animal, is it Godzilla? Or is it like one of those fucking spiders you gave AIDS to or whatever?
If it's fictional, then yes, it's Godzilla. If it's real, then it's a lion. But yeah, guys. So the Godzilla podcast is still going. It's super fun. You should check out the most recent episode because we talk about Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, which is...
Oh, yeah, everybody's favorite matchup.
It is such a bonkers movie. There's so much nonsense in that movie. It's like
how many Godzilla movies are there?
There's at least, I believe there's at least like 20 or 30, and we're also going into the extended universe as well. We're going to be doing some...
Well, you have to. I mean, you can't have 20 or 30 episodes of a podcast. You got to dip into the extended universe.
Well, we've already got coming up, we did some of the what's it called? The graphic novels. There's video games, all sorts of stuff. I'll play a clip from one of the most recent episodes. This is one of my favorite lines of the movie when they're radioing in back to their general. Listen to this.
It's a dinosaur! A gigantic dinosaur is attacking our boys! A dinosaur? What?
A dinosaur!
A dinosaur?
What? A dinosaur is attacking our boys!
I think a little later on, after they start shelling the Godzillasaurus, one of the guys on the ship goes, "Take that, you dinosaur!"
Yes,
that line too.
Oh,
yes, here it is.
God, yes.
Listen to this.
Got him! Take that, you dinosaur!
So that's a lot of fun, guys. Definitely check that out if you're, if it's a different style of show. But I will announce what's going to happen. We're gonna round out the bonus episodes though. We're gonna deliver some bonus episodes, which I've got some.
I'm excited about those. We got some good stuff planned for the bonus episodes.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff planned, and we're gonna have a huge show next week. Don't miss it, guys. Tune in Saturday, July 6th. Kirk, you may or may not be able to make it.
Yeah.
And Igor, I am so glad we got you in on the show before it actually ended because we've been talking about this for a long ass time.
When you say a long time, you mean the last time I saw you?
Yeah, so at least 2 months. Upwards of 2 months. Igor, also, before the show started, we were talking about some of the Twitter feuds you've gotten because you have the verified check mark, which you said prioritizes your comments in right?
Yeah, verification literally does nothing except for that people get notifications and sort of gets bumped up in the chat. So I'm way more likely to incur the wrath of someone I'm calling a fucking asshole on Twitter.
Yeah.
So,
And you got into it with Laura Loomer.
Yeah, I was making fun of her for being upset about her checkmark. She was like very upset.
That it got stripped.
Yeah, she lost her checkmark. Now she lost her whole account.
Yeah,
Right. She's lost everything.
But yeah, I just was making fun of her for that, and she retweeted me like 10 times in a row, and her fans very upset at me, and I spent quite a while telling them to fuck themselves.
Do you have a favorite beef that you got into with somebody on Twitter? Is there one you look back on where you're like, oh, that was a good beef?
No, it's all pointless and terrible. There's no reason. It's never anything funny. It's just me telling someone to fuck themselves, really.
I've been tweeting towards Trump, like really supportive messages.
No, for those
I've been enjoying those.
For those in the audience who don't know, who is that?
Donald Trump.
The real estate mogul.
The real estate guy. Yeah.
Okay, got
So it turns out
Best-selling
He's in
author.
Home Alone too.
yeah, he's in Home Alone
Oh,
too.
the actor.
The actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he started a TV show called The Apprentice, where he hired a bunch of interns and then gave them jobs potentially at the end of the
Aw,
season.
small business guy.
Yeah, small
Created a
business
lot
guy.
of
He's
jobs.
got a heart of gold. Anyway, crazy thing, he became president.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Of what?
United States.
Oh my God, I live there.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Then you would love it because he's president.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And he made America great again.
That's
Yeah.
great.
America was a real piece of shit before he became president. You know, we were like, our economy was tanked, our military was garbage, homelessness was through the roof, and then Trump came in, fixed everything.
Okay.
Ended racism.
And ended racism faux show.
Well, that's great.
And now I tweet occasionally, like really supportive, like messages towards our president, you know, to cheer him on as like a 17-year-old girl. A lot of XOXOs and kissy emojis. You know, he tweeted just before we recorded. He tweeted a tweet that said, "I'm gonna meet President Moon, and I hope if Kim Jong-un sees this, then I'll meet with him too, and maybe say hi, and then like wave or something from the board." I'm like, yeah, you know what, Prez, I'm really rooting for you. I hope he sees this on Twitter. You got this. XOXO. Yeah.
Didn't North Korea just get floppy disk technology like within the last decade?
No, but Michael Malice, who has been on the show, has been in North Korea. I almost went with him on that trip because that's the trip that spawned his book. It's called Dear Reader, and it's right over here on my bookshelf. That's right, Igor. If you guys are watching on YouTube, Igor is holding it up. It's called Dear Reader, but he went to North Korea. He saw their technology. Their computers are kind of like late 90s, early 2000s era. I believe they don't have a ton of flat screens, but they do have inside North Korea in their intranet, they do have LAN parties and their own gamers who play Call of Duty and all this. It's like, a lot of semi-modern games that we play. So it's amazing that they sneak that shit into the country.
They play Red Alert, but they're the bad guys.
Man, I wish we could, instead of having wars, we could just have all nations play Call of Duty, and then whoever wins, wins the war.
I don't know, man. I think I'd rather have war than Call of Duty. That game's so fucking boring. Anyway, guys, we should get to the debate this week, which is, what's the goofiest, dumbass regional food? We've heard everyone's buzzers, but Igor, as our first-time guest this week, I'm going to throw it to you. What is the goofiest, dumbass regional food?
It's really the cheese, but Philly cheesesteaks are such bullshit.
Oh my gosh, right out the gates. Amen.
Cheesesteaks are one of my favorite foods. I put mozzarella on them. Fucking delicious. Philly cheesesteaks have cheese whiz on them. That's the only fucking difference. And they're disgusting. I once went with Robin, and we went to Philly together. I was like, I gotta go to Gino's and Pat's. I gotta do them both. I'm gonna get one from each, try them both. They're fucking disgusting.
Did you do with onions or without?
I'm sure I did with onions.
Because I do. Here's the one thing I like about the Philly cheesesteak is I do like the economy of ordering. When you go, you just go like with or without. That's the only words you need to use, and that only indication is whether you want onions or you don't want onions, because all cheesesteaks are the same. But I do agree. I never have cheese whiz and go, I want more of that.
Yeah.
It is like this. I think it is a culinary gift that the people of Philadelphia probably really enjoy. But I think even Philadelphians wouldn't disagree with the fact that most of the city is hot trash. You know what I mean? Like the people, like the sports fans of Philadelphia, I mean, it's just professional assholes.
They revel in it.
Yeah, and they know it.
I
They
will
know
say
they're hot trash.
I will say this. So I made this article a long time ago called "The Most Overrated Sandwiches in America" or "The Most Dog Shit Sandwiches." I don't remember, but like the Philly cheesesteak was definitely on the list, and so was the po' boy from New Orleans.
You can fuck off right there.
You like the po' boy?
Yeah, of course, I like the po' boy.
Oh, we're gonna get into the po' boy, buddy. But the Philly cheese. Before we get to that, the Philly cheesesteak. So I have a theory. I have this theory of mine, which is any food that you criticize and people's defense of that food involves saying, "Oh, you just haven't had a good version of it," is a garbage food. Because I constantly hear that about cheesesteak sandwiches, and everybody's defense is always like, "Oh, you haven't had it in Philly," or whatever the fuck accent it is. They're like, "You got to go to Philly." So I went to fucking Pat's, the
not racist one.
Is it?
Gino's.
I mean, everybody in Philly's a little bit
The
racist.
former owner of Gino's put up all this like anti-immigration.
Yeah,
shit
like speak
in his-
English.
really?
No, yeah.
No shit.
But
He's like when he
son
died,
took it down.
his like dying wish was like, "Don't take down the like speak English or shut up sign." That's his dying wish.
That's amazing. So I went there and I was like, okay, this is the authentic, this is the real deal. And I ordered it with whiz, which is how you're supposed to have it. Yeah. In Philly, you're in Philly, and I got it with the onions and all that shit. I'm like, and I bite into it. It was the best Philly cheesesteak sandwich I've ever had, but it was only slightly better than the worst. Which is saying a fucking lot. There's nothing to that sandwich. It's a garbage sandwich. Just it just feels like I could be having Korean brisket instead of this shit. I could be having bulgogi. I could be eating potato chips.
Well, it's just like it's the manufactured flavor of Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
Like it's cheese that comes out of a fucking
It has no
pan.
texture. Cheese is about texture as much as anything else. You want that cheesy gooiness.
It is the texture of phlegm. So you do have kind of an orange slime that is not good for you. You don't find anything in Cheese Whiz in nature.
I don't want to eat cheese that I don't want to eat any kind of cheese that I could also do graffiti with. Like because you could do a sick tag with a fucking Cheese Whiz can.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. It just every time I see that, I'm like, I just want real fucking cheese. I don't know.
But here's the thing, Igor, and I'm going to push back against your belief that you like cheesesteak sandwiches, but with a different type of cheese. So you've had it with I'm assuming provolone, American cheddar,
Pepper
probably
jack.
not cheddar, pepper jack, yeah.
I don't know. I try to stick to mozzarella provolone personally. But
Okay. Now, are we talking about the shredded bullshit mozzarella, or are we talking about like the real wet mozzarella, the pizza?
Jesus Christ, that sounds so creepy when you say that.
You want to?
I like my mozzarella all wet.
Yeah, you
I
want
think
some
just
wet
the
mozzarella.
bullshit shredded is fine.
Bullshit shredded.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kirk, you're being awfully quiet over there, which makes me think you're a cheesesteak advocate.
I do not have a strong opinion on Philly cheesesteaks. I've had like a couple in my life. They're just average, meh, whatever.
They are average, yeah. Okay, so I like your answer, Igor. I'm gonna give you a point for that because the cheesesteak is an overrated sandwich and an overrated food. Except you say the cheese makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say you're a picky eater, Igor?
No.
Okay. All right. That's important to note because sometimes picky eaters, I immediately dismiss their taste in food. Okay. So but thank God you're not.
I did not make it long enough in your podcast to know that there's a point system.
Oh, there has never been a point.
Yeah,
system.
it literally does not matter. It's like
just
the
admitting
first
this.
time he's ever fucking said
Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right.
I was like, there are points? I've been doing this for over a year.
Well, guys, you know what? I don't always enumerate the rules or elaborate them. But there is no point system. It's a complete bullshit metaphorical. But Kirk, I'm going to throw it to you now. What is your bullshit, dumbass, goofiest regional food? What would you say?
I would have to say the gyro. Because there's so much confusion. First off, it's Greek food, but it's called the gyro, so I think it's represents all of Europe. But it's not even spelled like that. It's spelled with a fucking G and a Y, and for years I called it a gyro like a fucking idiot. So the dumb Greeks have made me look stupid all these years by mispronouncing their stupid sandwich or whatever the fuck it is.
So when you say, what region would you say that is that?
I guess it's Greek. It's definitely not Europe. I guess it could be in Europe, because isn't Greece part of Europe?
Kirk, oh my God. Were you, hearing the word Euro and you assumed it was spelled E-U-R-O?
No, I thought it was gyro, and then someone told me it was Euro. I'm like, why don't they spell it right then?
I do know what you're talking about, and I hate the fact when there's foods where there's the correct pronunciation.
Pho.
it's just like
pho or
when you
pho,
say
yeah.
you want to go out and get some pho, and people are like, I'd like to go out and get some pho.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like I also don't go to like Taco Bell and be like, I like to have a gordita. Like,
I am very embarrassed ordering a hero or pho because I don't want to say pho or hero. I want to be like a gyro or pho.
If someone looks Asian
Yeah.
to me, like in like specifically Vietnamese, I will say pho. But I can't win with these people, and I'm not talking about Asians. I'm talking about every. I'm talking about every.
wow.
I'm talking about everyone. If I say pho,
These people.
oh my god,
I can't. This is not a good system for my.
Let's hear your.
What the fuck is going on here?
But it's like when people go to Hawaii and they're like, where did you go on vacation? Like, I went to Hawaii.
Yeah,
and you're like,
yeah.
I don't know which one to fucking use, because if I use the one that's actually correct, everyone goes, oh, okay. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
and
real tough guy.
The amount of times I've probably been to a Greek restaurant and ordered a gyro, and then the employees laughed at me in the back because I'm such an idiot. But the Greek salads are
They
right.
know.
The Greek
They're
salads.
fine.
I mean, I like gyros. I think they're pretty
I
good.
mean, they're delicious. I
Gyros
just
are
hate the spelling and the pronunciation.
Like yours are fine if you want heartburn. But here's the thing. I used to say pho all the time because everyone knows what the fuck I'm talking about, and then I get corrected. It's like, it's actually pho. And then if I say pho, I got yelled at for being pretentious. Like,
No,
it's
but you know
pho
what?
to
There
you.
are businesses in Los Angeles. There was a place that used to be in Beverly Hills called
9021
9021 Pho.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
that's the way they're saying it. That's
Yep.
the name of the business. It's been like 9021 Pho. So, and then, you're telling me I'm wrong because it says pho. I'm like, the business owners are saying this is what it should be. They're doing a play on words.
I'm not sure that's super authentic.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty authentic.
It's
It was
in
on
Beverly
Rodeo
Hills.
Drive.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're gonna get the best, the best.
everyone knows if you want a good pho, you go to the Rodeo Drive.
Yeah. Wait. So your food, Kirk, is the gyro. And does it have anything to do with your Does it have anything to do with that doesn't have to do with your ignorance that you hate the food, like the flavor, for
In
example?
all honesty, it's Chinese food.
You hate Chinese food.
Yeah, except for like orange chicken, maybe sweet and sour.
Wow,
but
you're a boy. You are a boy. You're a child.
it's a total crap. You know what? One of my favorite fast food restaurants is? It's Panda Express, because they Americanized and standardized the shit out of Chinese food to where it's edible to people like me.
Okay. And what people like you? What is that?
A man with amazing taste.
Oh,
anyway,
Do you like the spicy?
the spice, yeah, of course.
Kirk, no, you don't. Do you like spicy? You really like
Dude,
spicy?
Kirk,
Oh, I
you
love
are like a human
I
chicken
pickle
finger.
my own jalapenos, okay? I made guacamole today.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh, I believe it.
Do you have,
I've been at
do you
Kirk's
have a
house.
mortar and pestle?
Yeah, no.
I've been at Kirk's house before, and he is like, I've been served good food from Kirk's place, but Kirk is also like a healthy eater, and I'll say that. So
I
Bud Light.
actually didn't know that. So you're big into eating healthy food. You're kind of, I mean, you're a slender dude. It looks like you take care of yourself.
Kirk's a good-looking dude, and every time I'll tell you the first time I noticed that Kirk's a healthy eater is because when he brings snacks over and he's like, just munching on stuff, it's always like healthy stuff, peanuts, like almonds, trail mix, that sort of thing, and it's never carbs. I don't see you eating carbs very often.
Do you think Kirk is like a secret CrossFit dude?
No, I'm not.
Which is
Wow,
exactly
really
what
quick,
exactly what
really
a
quick
secret
to the draw.
CrossFit dude would
Uh-huh.
say.
Wow, unbelievable. Cultist, Kirk WIlcox. Okay, so we've established that Kirk does CrossFit and hates heroes. And Chinese food is your real answer, though.
Yes.
Okay, here's the thing, Kirk. That type of Chinese food. So I've been to China.
Which I also like the
You've been to
region
China?
that's from is China.
Now, yeah.
It's just Chinese food.
When I went to China, there is not a single fucking sweet and sour. There's not a single fucking deep fried anything. There's no wonton.
General Tso's is another one I don't know. I don't feel comfortable pronouncing.
Yeah, General.
It's
yeah.
General Tso.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
None of that shit exists in China. What they eat, because you look at the population. If you want to know whether the food you're eating is healthy or not, look at the people of the country and just picture the average citizen. If they're fat, it's not healthy. If it's skinny, then it's healthy. So the Chinese food that you eat in China is mostly vegetables, bean curd, fresh meats, and it's like lighter on the meats. It's like chicken and fish. nutrition, that sort of thing. But that food, the sweet and sour stuff, is very fat. It's very sugary, and it packs on the calories. And the reason they do that is because it comes from the Siberia region, where they need to pack on the calories and they need to put on the weight for the winter. And that's what is most popular in America, surprise, surprise, with the land of the fatzos.
A few years ago, I visited my brother who lives in northern Michigan. He's like, can we go to a Chinese buffet for lunch? I'm like, no, I hate Chinese food. He's like, oh, don't worry. They also serve pizza and baked potatoes.
Wow.
Imagine like moving to America as an immigrant. Like, I'm going to open a restaurant and then finding out everyone in your area hates Chinese. So you have to make
the Chinese food buffets where I grew up are all like, okay, there's the pizza. There's the sushi. There's the frozen yogurt machine.
Yeah.
It's just like a fuck it kind of attitude when it comes to food. And my dad fucking loved the Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
He's like, it's great. There's so much stuff.
It's
like $9.
That's Taylor Nikolai in the chat room. He loves a Chinese buffet. It's like his favorite.
A good rule about restaurants is if they also serve mozzarella sticks, it's not going to be good.
What if it's an Italian restaurant?
Yeah. No.
If it's like a normal, you're like, oh, this is like an appetizer. But if it's like we serve only fried chicken, but also mozzarella sticks, or we serve only Chinese food and also mozzarella sticks, it's gonna be terrible.
When I was a kid, I would badger my mom and dad for mozzarella sticks. I'd make a big production out of it. I'd open up the menu. I'd look and be like, oh, look at that. They serve mozzarella sticks. Oh, that's interesting.
You'd start canvassing.
What do you guys think about a mozzarella sticks for the table? And we didn't grow up rich, so we never got appetizers. You got waters. So we got mozzarella sticks, and I would just badger my dad, and he would finally be like, can we also get the mozzarella sticks? And I would just be as an 11-year-old, mozzarella sticks are the only thing you want.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I was in Michigan last week, and I went to a BD's Mongolian barbecue, and we ordered mozzarella sticks.
Oh my God! How were they?
They were really good.
Probably
they were jalapeno mozzarella sticks.
Oh,
Kirk.
You should have started with that. Holy shit!
Jalapeno poppers is also a good rule, but terrible jalapeno poppers are still really good.
Dude, I used to get so drunk in Hollywood, and I would always end up at the Jack in the Box across from a movie records. It's like dinner in a movie. You just walk in and you're just like, I like some jalapeno poppers, and then you just enjoy the show while you wait for your jalapeno poppers.
Oh,
because that is the most batshit crazy fast food restaurant I have ever been in. I saw a guy get his car towed.
I think we talked about this before.
And he was getting a fucking food from the Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
And they still towed his car.
Yep.
I mean, that place is fucking crazy.
That Jack in the Box, I didn't think a place could be so bad. You have a story there, Igor, too?
No, but there is a McDonald's in New York City that was open. I mean, it still is open. It's nicer now. But it's in the Lower East Side. It was open 24 hours a day, probably still is. And every time I went in there at 2 or 3 in the morning, it was just a war zone of just complete insanity. And I witnessed one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life, which is I don't know what the argument was over because I came in right as it happened. But one of the employees of McDonald's threw a pot of coffee at someone and it shattered on the booths. And the dude just ran out. And I don't know
the
employee. No, the guy who she was throwing it at. I don't know if it was boiling hot, it's hot coffee in a glass jar at someone. And I just went up there and ordered my food like it was nothing.
You just step by and
someone's sweeping it up.
Can I get the 10-piece chicken McNuggets, please?
It was incredible. And it was like a joke of people who would just go hang out there just to watch just madness go down.
Yeah, there's a...
it's not a good restaurant when the chairs are bolted to the floor.
Yeah, the benches are bolted to the floor. That sounds like it's as bonkers as this Jack in the Box. I remember one time I don't go to Jack in the Box, but I walked into this one. If you guys are visiting LA, it's worth seeing. I have unconventional tourist attractions. I'm like, you got to go to Jack in the Box on Cahuenga and Hollywood Boulevard, and then you also got to check out Erewhon Grocery Store. It's on Beverly.
Oh, that fucking place!
Yeah, it's fucking insane. I had this little bet with a friend that we'd try to see what was the most expensive thing in the place, and we're just having so much fun walking around. A dozen eggs.
If you wanted to see where the bougiest 1% shop.
Yeah.
The Air One grocery stores, you could just find out how much can an avocado cost? And you go in there and you're like, $5 for an avocado? It's just,
it is out of
batshit
fucking
crazy.
control.
I've paid $4 to put avocado on a sandwich before.
Yeah, but that's in New York.
I don't have a concept of what an avocado is supposed
when
to
you
cost.
look at people, like, rich people who have no concept of things, this is the grocery store they shop at because they just have no concept of what things should cost.
Like a bar of dark chocolate, right? Dark chocolate already is a little bit like a kind of a bougie and affluent type thing. If you're gonna try and buy like the high end stuff, this was like $15 for a regular bar of 6-ounce chocolate or 4-ounce or whatever the fuck. I saw a bag of trail mix, a 12-ounce bag of trail mix. How much could trail mix cost? $35. It had
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I was going to guess $7.49. I literally was going to guess like $7.
And it was
maxed out at 20.
Yeah, no, and there was nothing in it. It was just like, raw pre-activated cashews. I'm like, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Activated cashews.
Yeah, or I guess like
I've been eating activated cashews my whole life like a fucking asshole.
Oh, you fool. You. So then I found out about cashews. First of all, let me ask you a question. This is a test for the listeners too. Think of a cashew nut shell. All right, try to picture one.
Never seen one.
Exactly. No one's ever seen one. The reason is because they're extremely poisonous. You cannot get them shelled because they can't sell them shelled. They have to deshell them for you, and it's like this insane thing where people who do deshell those things get poisoned all the time. They get sick. They have to wear these gloves, and it has like this black toxin that seeps into your skin. So and by the way, the raw cashews will still get you sick. They're poisonous. So there's no such thing as a raw cashew you buy in America. Even if they say it's raw, it's not. It's lightly roasted.
So the cashews we all buy, enjoy, and love, they're like boiled or cooked?
They're roasted. They're roasted. Cashews.
Okay,
if they're slightly tan, like golden colored, they're roasted. And even if they're not, they're still roasted because you can't buy fucking raw cashews because it will poison you, you fucking idiots. So you go to Erewhon, you're buying this $35 trail mix. Everyone's like, it's pre-activated, it's not roasted, it's raw. It's like, it's fucking isn't. You're a fool. Anyway, you should check that out and check out the shit, the bad shit Jack in the Box. But
come to LA and enjoy the sights.
After this, I'm down to go to the Jack in the Box.
Oh my gosh.
We should probably wait like 3 hours.
Yeah, we are not going to Jack in the Box. We got a super chat from David Drennan in the chat room for $2. He says, anything with ranch dressing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, David? You get one of those.
I worked as a waiter at Pizzeria Uno for about 2 years, and I had
bullshit food.
I had so many fucking employees from the bank one before Jay spotted out that would come in for the lunch special and not tip me. And every time they're like, can I have some ranch? Can I have some extra ranch? I saw so many people eating ranch with their deep dish shitty pepperoni pizza that it's like I am turned off from ranch forever. Cannot fucking do it. I filled up ranch out of the 5-gallon buckets that you pour into the fucking salad ramekins and shit like that. Cannot do ranch, man.
Ranch is the sauce that people who enjoy mayonnaise eat when they want to eat something exotic.
Yeah. That's about it.
We got Dr. Hit Monkey in the chat room says New York deli sandwiches are pretty goofy. What do you think about that, Igor, as a New Yorker?
Until I got liver disease, I eat probably this roast beef. I go in, roast beef, Munster, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, salt, Hero. I've been eating that sandwich at least twice a week since 2006. I've lived in the same apartment and going to the same bodega, and it's gone from like $4.25 up to like $7.50. But it's fucking amazing.
Okay, so a strong rebuttal to you, Dr. Hitmonkey. Ron, we should get to your pick. What is your goofiest regional dumbass food?
Man, it's been going through my head. I know the chat room is blowing up. A lot of people are talking about poutine.
Yeah.
In my head, my knee-jerk reaction was Cincinnati chili, which is chili served on a bed of spaghetti that's covered with like half a bag of shredded Kraft cheese.
Skyline, right?
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
Skyline
That sounds
chili.
really good, right?
But here's the thing. I had it, and I fucking loved it.
Hey.
But
Whoops.
my pick for the goofiest food, if we're going with goofy, absolutely has to be the Juicy Lucy.
What is a Juicy
The
Lucy?
Juicy Lucy is a burger from the Minneapolis area where they think they're fucking blowing mind. You put your cheese on top of the burger?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of
Bro, we put our cheese inside the burger. It's a fucking Juicy Lucy. So I went out and got a Juicy Lucy with my brother, and the waitress, as soon as she sat down the food, goes, "Don't eat it. It's way too hot," which is a weird thing to tell someone when they put food in front of you. And I go, "I'm sure it's fine." I bite into it. I give my mouth 3rd-degree burns because you bite into it and you're basically biting into a cheesy zit, and it blows up in your mouth, and the cheese is scalding. And they think they're fucking blowing, but it's inside. I'm fine with the cheese being on top of the burger. It fucking works. So you have to wait till the cheese cools. So what you end up eating is like this weird cold hockey puck with lukewarm cheese inside, and they all act like it's the best thing ever, and you're like, this fucking sucks. And it's not great, and it's just like, I'd rather just have a regular burger that's cooked normally.
You know what, Ron? Oh, there it is. You get the applause too. That is such a fucking good choice, because I've had that shit. People served it to me and they didn't call it a Juicy Lucy, which I think the name.
I don't want to eat anything called a Juicy Lucy.
No, I don't even want to. Like, if my girlfriend's name was Lucy and she texted me, she goes, "Come over, big boy."
For Juicy Lucy, I'd be like, "I'm fucking good, man. I'm gonna go play video games with my guys."
Yeah, I'm just gonna like watch hentai. I'm gonna watch hentai.
Juicy Lucy just sounds like a girl named Lucy who has a lot of diarrhea.
Yeah, so I've had friends who've like done the thing like, "Oh, I put the cheese in the burger," and it does nothing to the flavor. Yeah, because it doesn't integrate into the meat the way they think it does. All it does is it leaves these lava pockets of gushers, like cheese like gushers that drizzle down your chin.
So you're taking away more meat? So I'm losing meat to put cheese when I could get the same amount of cheese and have more meat.
Yeah.
So to me, like, you're just paying more for losing the thing that you're excited about eating.
Right. And you know what? You could so easily just make that patty a double and then throw a slice of cheese right in the middle.
Wait, but have you heard that you can put French fries on a sandwich?
You know what? You better be fucking sarcastic, because I hate that shit. In Schittsburg, they have this
fucking Primanti Brothers.
I fucking hate
garbage.
Yes. All right.
What about Fat Sal's?
Fat Sal's.
Fat Sal's is just like, you like hot garbage? You're gonna love Fat Sal's. It's every time I eat it, I get a stomach ache, and it's like it's a sandwich of everything, and it's like we've used really okay ingredients for every part of the sandwich, but we're using all of them.
It's the concept of putting fries on your sandwich, but also every type of bar food, like it's mini taquitos.
Turtle from fucking Entourage owned it. So it's the Entourage of sandwiches. It's not that satisfying, but it's fun to look at.
Yeah,
how does that compare to like a mouth-watering Dagwood?
Are you making an Archie reference to just the hamburger?
No.
What is a Dagwood?
The Dagwood from the comic strip.
From the comic.
Yeah.
Those are the sandwiches.
The Archie. The giant sandwich.
No, not Archie. Dagwood. Was like he had like these giant sandwiches, and it was like, man, I'll fucking.
For some reason, it was always prefaced with mouth-watering.
Yeah.
Mouth-watering Dagwood.
Mouth-watering Dagwood.
Oh man, I want to name a sexual move over that and serve that to her.
When I put out Dinner with Igor, I did like a food tattoo zine to go with it, and it was like a Kickstarter bonus reward, and the back cover is a tattoo my friend has, who's a very large man, and it goes from his hip bone all the way up of just a sandwich with like a fish on it and a steak and just like every type of food in this. I mean, he's a big guy. It's a big tattoo.
He's got a lot of skin to cover. Oh yeah, Dr. Hitmonkey in the chat room said the comic you're talking about is named Blondie.
Blondie. Okay.
Dagwood is a character. Sorry.
So. Okay, so we've got some good choices. You got the Juicy Lucy, Ron, which I agree is such a shit sandwich. Imagine if the concept of Swiss cheese, which is just cheese with holes in it, was a burger patty, because that's what happens to the cheese.
Yeah, it's the thing is like even the best version of the Juicy Lucy. Yeah. You know how you can say like this, the best version of it.
Oh, you haven't tried a good one.
It's gonna scald you. Yeah, and so you have to wait until the cheese calms down, and then you're eating a cold burger and hot cheese, and it's just not a pleasant. Like if I eat a burger, I don't want to eat cold hamburger meat. Yeah, I want it to be hot.
Right, and one of the worst things about cheese is the greasy factor. So what you've done essentially is you have encapsulated all that grease, so you have like this pool, and it separates too, because you have at the bottom of the cheese, imagine like the Earth's Earth's crust, right? And in the middle of the Earth's crust, if it was cheese, right, and that we have gravity, so you have the cheese that kind of goes to the bottom, and then at the top you have the pool of grease. So when you bite into your Juicy Lucy, you're going to get a grease mustache, and then it's also going to run down your chin. You're going to look like a complete fucking moron.
If you're saying to someone as soon as you deliver the food, hey, don't eat this, like, it's not a good food. You know what I mean? Like, now, if you say it about the plate that it's on, hey, don't touch the plate is hot, that's fine. But if you're saying about the actual food, like, then you're cooking the food wrong.
What about coffee?
Ooh, good.
I wouldn't say coffee's a food.
It's not a food.
I would say it's a
Beverage.
Hey, can we talk about this? The lady in the '90s who spilled coffee on herself from
But
McDonald's.
it's a total bullshit thing that we've all made fun of, and it turns out the story goes a lot.
Yeah, that New York Times like 20-year piece was depressing.
So that was like one of the first times I had a consciousness of like a cultural divide in America, because I feel like more people who tended to be conservative kind of came down on this lady of like, you should have personal responsibility, don't spill it on yourself, blah blah blah. And that's what I thought for the longest time until recently, like 2 years ago, I started researching that. I was like, oh yeah, whatever happened to that lady? Because she got the she won the lawsuit. It was like some crazy amount of money.
Also, she didn't want that much money.
No, she didn't. And
but then they appealed.
Yeah, they did appeal.
She won much less.
Oh,
yeah.
Ultimately.
But this lady won way more than she got because the corporation was so negligent. And here's the thing: if you guys look at the details of the case, there is so much crazy shit that happened. Like if you just look at the pictures, her skin was falling off.
Skin grafts. Yeah,
the coffee was something
and it
like
spilled on her lap, like on her your inner thighs. It's like sensitive parts of your body.
The coffee was like between 160 to 180 degrees.
Yeah,
there is nothing that ever needs to be that hot. And when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, that does seem like negligence. Like, how can you sell anybody this? I mean, literally, if you spill that on any living creature, it's going to kill them and cause their skin to fall off. You shouldn't have coffee that fucking hot. And McDonald's defense was like, well, some of our customers complain that their coffee's cold when they get home. I'm like, well, talk about personal responsibility. You dumb motherfuckers. Yeah. You can't simultaneously argue that this lady was negligent because of personal responsibility, but then these poor customers are having to sip slightly less hot coffee when they get home. It's not your fucking responsibility to enforce when the customer drinks their fucking coffee. Anyway, that's an interesting story that's worth looking into.
There's a thing that came out about how a lot of cultures, not so much in America, but more in the Middle East, where they like scalding hot tea. I mean, upwards of like 200 degrees, and how that's how they kind of sip it, and that's how they enjoy it. But that it's basically causing damage to your intestines because we're not meant to drink things that are that hot.
Yeah.
And I was worried about this. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I look in and it's like, basically it was like, no one in America needs to worry about this. Like, we don't drink things that hot. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Because, I mean, but over there, they have this scalding hot tea.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I don't know how people do it.
Yeah. I don't get it. People who like to drink everything fucking hot, like, just calm down. Just drink it normal temperature. Why do you got to drink it all hot?
Except you
really
fucking
cold?
love eating things that are like scalding hot.
Oh,
like hot sauce and shit.
Like the spicy level. Absolutely. Okay, Ron. So good pick. Juicy Lucy. Kirk, we got Chinese food. Igor, we got the cheesesteak sandwich, the Philly cheesesteak.
Anything from Pennsylvania. Let's just state of Pennsylvania.
What about Hershey?
Hershey's like chocolate wax. I'm from Pennsylvania, and we all agree it is not good.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good sandwiches.
What about s'mores?
S'mores are great. Twinkies are great. Weiss potato chips are great.
Utz pretzels.
Yeah, Utz pretzels are great. I mean, there's actually a lot of good stuff from Pennsylvania.
Fago Cola, pound it.
All right. These guys are having a cola moment, but I got the real pick here, guys. I got the real biggest, goofiest, dumbass regional food, and it comes from my home state of Utah, and it's called fry sauce. Have you guys ever heard of fry sauce?
Never heard of it. No.
Well, unfortunately, it's coming to grocery stores. Finally, Utahns got their fucking way. Let me tell you what fry sauce is. Let me tell you this exotic mixture of ingredients you've never heard of before. It's a combination of ketchup, okay, and get this, mayonnaise. Yeah, and they call it fry sauce. And my friend from Utah would come out to LA, and I it just annoys me so much. Everywhere we go, he asks them for fry sauce. I'm like, Roy, his name's Roy. Roy, they don't fucking have fry sauce anywhere. It's a Utah thing. Stop. You know that. Stop being an asshole. Just order fucking ketchup.
Can I have some fry sauce, please? I'm sorry, what? Fry sauce?
Yeah. And he revels, Ron, and he revels in the
What's
explanation.
fry sauce? Oh, you don't have fry sauce?
Oh, you don't know what fry sauce is? Let me enlighten you.
Oh, you gotta get fry sauce.
Yeah, let me elucidate you, you dumb fuck. Let me tell you what fry sauce is. And he just loves to tell the waiter, he loves the thing he lives for is the thoughtful nod, like,
that sounds good.
And so,
Are you still friends with Roy?
yes, he's like one of my. I was like his best man at his wedding.
Yeah, Roy's come up with this
He gets
podcast
twice.
so fucking many times.
Yeah.
I've never met this guy. I fucking love this guy.
Yeah,
he sounds great.
God, I wish I could get him out here because I would love to have like Roy was the guy who for years I talked to him and he would mispronounce the word chaos. He would say it's chaos, just repeatedly. So
I keep hitting this, man.
you're fine.
I just love that people like look at fry sauce as like the fucking like fry sauce.
Oh, you gotta have fry sauce.
I have seen it's like swirled in there, right?
No, it's mixed.
Because I've seen like I thought I saw some sort of ketchup mayonnaise dispenser that would like maybe they both came out at once or something.
in Utah or just in general.
I think I saw it on the internet.
So fuck ass Heinz is finally putting out a fry sauce thing, and it's literally just like a bottle of ketchup, but it's a mixture of mayonnaise. And you know what? Do you know what Thousand Island dressing is?
This is ketchup and
Ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Plus, like sometimes they'll throw in a little relish. Like go fucking crazy, or you'll add a little relish
I
to
wonder
it.
where they got the name Thousand Islands.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's
That's what I ordered when I was a kid because I was like, oh, that sounds fun.
yeah.
And I was like,
I want
it's just
Thousand Islands.
ketchup and. So here's my problem with the fry sauce thing. Like, it's not a thing, okay? Because if you ask for a hamburger and they ask you if you want mayo and ketchup on it, you say yes. That's not the same as saying, yeah, give me some fry sauce on it. I mean, if you can just add, they're just two ingredients. You're just combining two condiments and you're calling it a new thing. It's not. When you have a burger with mayo and ketchup on it, it's a burger with mayo and ketchup. It's not a burger with fry sauce. Like, fry sauce isn't a fucking thing. And then some places in Utah go fucking crazy.
Now, where do people have fry sauce in Utah? Like, where?
Everywhere.
Is this like in every single like? Not the national chains, but like every like kind of local burger chain has fry sauce.
The national chains included, Ron, because McDonald's makes regional fry sauce for Utah, and it's the only state in the union. Maybe Utah and I think like Kentucky.
I mean, if I was in Utah, I'd probably get some fry sauce.
It comes in this like little rectangular tub.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It is just look. It tastes exactly like Thousand Island dressing. It's not that good. It's basically like take the tanginess of ketchup and then reduce it.
Now, if you asked if I want a Thousand Island dressing with my fries, I'd be like, no, thanks. But if you're like, hey, you want some fry sauce with your fries? I'd be like, that sounds fun. I'll have some fry sauce.
Yeah, fry
Not
sauce.
even knowing what it is. I would enjoy the hell out of
Just
that.
a little bit of mayonnaise. Like, it's just more sneaking more fucking mayonnaise in your food.
Watching people eat fries and mayonnaise is one of my least favorite things.
Yeah.
It's so revolting to
It
me.
really is. It really
mine
is.
maybe this is from Pizzeria Uno, but mine was watching people just dump ranch on their pepperoni deep dish pizza. I'd just be like, oh, God. You know, be like, can I get some more ranch? And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, and they wouldn't eat the salad that came with the meal.
Right.
You know, you're just like, I can't fucking do this job anymore, man.
What's this bowl of leaves doing here?
Yeah, fucking fry sauce, man. That's my pick. But I'll also say this. I know this might be a controversy. Oh, you know what? Po' boys. Let's get to po' boys.
What is it with the fucking thing? I've had great po' boys.
A po' boy is basically, so you get the French baguette, right? And then you put a bunch of deep fried food on it, Kirk. And you know, nothing really
Yeah, like
brings
an
out
oyster po' boy sandwich.
Like
It's
shrimp.
like
Yeah.
deep fried or
wow.
shrimp.
It
po'
doesn't
boy.
matter what it is because it's always deep fried. Nothing brings out the flavor of something like deep frying it. So you're basically taking your meat item, your protein, you're covering it in more bread, and then you're putting it on more bread, and then a sprinkle of iceberg lettuce with no other fucking flavoring or condiments on it.
Dude,
and then
it's
here
the
you go.
Fucking best. Yeah, because I've never seen Maddox eat fried food before. We go out for wings all the fucking time, and now you're gonna shit on fried food?
Wings are just a sauce delivery system.
Thank you so much.
There we
Enjoy
go.
that,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
enjoy that sauce.
It's like a sauce delivery system that tastes like chicken, and I do enjoy that. But I'm not saying like wings are not like high food. It's not like high class. You would never go to like a high end
po' boy. It's
Literally
called a fucking po' boy.
Yeah, well, you know what? Po' boy, but po' boys are like another one of those foods where I hear that defense. Remember earlier I said, "Oh, you just haven't had a good
We
one."
didn't say that. We just said
Everyone says that to me. They're like, "Oh, you haven't had a good po' boy." Well, I went to fucking New Orleans. I had so many fucking po' boys because I was like, I really want to try this fucking food and get the best example of it because I think I've had shitty po' boys. They're all the fucking same. They're too dry. They're too bready. They make me want. Like,
that's a problem. It's way too much.
Too much bread.
It's
Right?
a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread.
The ratio is fucked.
Look, I got another. I'm just gonna fucking pop these off. I got another one. Speaking of New Orleans, beignets. Beignets are.
Disagree.
Are you allergic to fun?
Where's my button?
They're fine.
Yeah, where's my button? The fuck? You don't like beignets?
They're fine. Beignets are fine. They're just
They're fine. They're fried donuts.
There's something in between a donut and a
Of
skull.
all the tourist traps I've been to in my life, Cafe Du Monde is like the most fulfilled. Like that was perfect. We were there for 5 minutes. It's like the quickest service.
They had
the coffee is so fucking good.
There was light jazz
Beignets are
playing.
delicious.
You're next to a lake and trees.
Yeah.
If that's what a tourist trap is, sign me up.
Cafe Du Monde
Everyone
is worth it.
Everyone in the chat room's shitting on me. They're like, "You're wrong, Maddox. Beignets are great. Fuck you." Everyone's shitting on me.
So I went to.
Oh, something's yellow.
Went to a. This is a super chat from Salvador Hernandez.
He said, "Oh yeah, Salvador Hernandez for $10 says my boss refuses to have ranch at our bistro. He told us of a time when some broad asked for a lot of ranch. It was at a TGI's, and he bought her. He brought her a bunch and said, "Drink it. Ranch is the worst."
Dude, I fucking love that box.
That's good. Thank you, Salvador.
When I went to New Orleans on a tour, I was always the car I was in was an old Mercedes. I was taking pictures of it around the country, and somebody was like, "Oh, you should go down to Louis Armstrong Park where Cafe Du Monde is." And I ended up in the middle of the night. It's this beautiful park. It has Armstrong in bright letters. It goes in like an archway, and so I was about. Like the only way to get there, though, there's all these barricades. I had to drive up on the sidewalk for probably a good maybe 25, 30 yards and just pull up in front of the park. And I was with a friend. I was like, I'm really afraid to do this. Like, I don't want to get arrested. He's like, oh, in this part of town, as long as you're not murdering someone, you're fine. And I just pulled up and a cop was there and it just drove by me because it had bigger problems to deal with. New Orleans is like the closest you could get to the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it really is. I love New Orleans.
People just park on the medians when they run out of parking spaces.
Yeah, girl, I went there.
It was awesome.
I went there like on a Wednesday in August, and there's no events going on, and it's still like they shut down. The French Quarter goes nuts. Everyone's tits are coming out. People dancing in the street. I saw some of the most amazing, beautiful jazz I've ever heard in this like pop-up band in the middle of the street, and they're just playing their hearts out. I'm like, God bless.
It's the most interesting city, I think, in the U.S.
It's amazing. And so I saw this band just like jamming, everyone's dancing, having a good time, and then I see this cop rolling down the street on a horse. I'm like, oh fuck, here comes the fun police, literally.
Cops are fucking awesome.
Yeah, well, he rolls in, and the crowd parts for the horse cop, and all of a sudden the horse starts doing this dance to the jazz. I'm like, what the fuck?
What? Did you take acid?
No, the horse is dancing. I got video of it.
What I like about New Orleans is that there's few cities in this country where when you could be dropped and not know where you are, and you could be dropped in New Orleans, and by like walking around, you can realize that you're in New Orleans very quickly.
Yeah,
it's one of those cities that it's like has a very specific culture, and there's a couple cities like that. Like when you're in New York, when you're in Chicago. But like New Orleans is so specific, and there's so
really
few cities like that, and that's like what I kind of like about it.
Yeah, I was expecting there to be better barbecue in the city because the food's amazing in New Orleans, but barbecue kind of sucks. There was one barbecue place.
Why bother?
I know. I got another regional food.
Yeah, you got those po' boys you could have instead.
Fuck po' boys. I got another regional food. It is called the gnocchi. It is a dumb word and a dumb food.
What the fuck is wrong with you? They're potato-filled pasta. Gnocchi's the best.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
I think I'll have one. And like, they're so fucking filling. They're so heavy. I eat one gnocchi and I'm like, well, this date's ruined. I'm going to shit for days.
How do you fucking love cottage cheese so much and then hate the texture of gnocchi?
I don't love cottage cheese.
Yes, you do. You're half cottage cheese.
It's an okay food.
Gnocchi is the perfect example of what you're saying. If gnocchi isn't good, it's bad. Like, if it's like good gnocchi is like wonderful.
Look, I've had gnocchi in the United States, and I'm like, you know what, maybe
I've had food made from Mr. Gnocchi himself.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I'm getting at, Ron. So it's one of those foods because again, it's like it's like, oh, you just haven't had a good version of it. So I went to Italy,
is also
and nothing but good gnocchi.
No, I went to fucking Italy. All right, so all you fucking blowhards are like, oh, you haven't had good gnocchi.
Oh yeah, because Italy can't make shitty gnocchi.
Oh well, I went to fucking Florence, and this place is like.
I've been to America, and I had a terrible burger there. It's on Hollywood and Cuenca.
Was it Jack in the Box? Yeah, I went to.
Oh, you should have got the fries on it.
Yeah, I needed animal style or fucking. Is that Jack in the Box? No,
yeah.
No, it's in and out.
No, whatever.
So I
fucking. Look, can we get in the Five Guys fight again? Because
we're getting there.
All
We're
right.
getting there, Igor.
I'm always fucking down for a Five Guys fight.
Yeah.
I will fucking kill you, fucking In and Out motherfuckers.
Oh, let's bring it. But the gnocchi thing, right? So everyone's like, "Oh, you having a good gnocchi?" So I'm like, "All right, I'm in Italy. I'm in Florence. This place is like has the best gnocchi in the city, like one of the top three places." And I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna get good gnocchi, it's gonna be in fucking Florence, one of the food capitals of Italy. So I sat down, I ordered this gnocchi. I had like 2-3 bites. I'm like, I still feel like this is plugging me up, and it's not enough flavor. There's not enough flavor delivered per bite to justify that much fucking chew.
Do you think it's a weakness of your body and your digestive system that you can't deal with it?
You know what, Igor? I don't like the way you said that. No. The answer is no. I can digest anything. I can poop out anything.
This gnocchi's too chewy for my tum-tum. I don't like it. Do you happen to have any cottage cheese?
I'll tell you another shitty regional food, Greek, Kirk, along with your gyros from earlier. But another shitty regional food is the souvlaki. I went to Greece.
Wait, what's souvlaki? I've heard of that before, but I can't picture it.
Yeah, it's basically like a Greek sandwich or something. It comes in a pita bread. It's a bunch of meat, whatever. It's like
It's a gyro.
That's exactly. I'm sure that's how they describe it. This cultural food that's been passed down for generations. It's just a bullshit sandwich with like some meat, some bread.
The white sauce.
It's basically like a kebab sandwich. And I went to Greece, and I was like, I had a pub crawl in Greece. I met up with a bunch of fans. Like, we went drinking and whatever. Near the end of the night.
Sure it was pronounced pub crawl and not like poop crawl?
We went on a poop crawl. So I was
C is silent.
Yeah, I was in Greece and I was with a bunch of locals. So I'm like, hey, they're like, are you enjoying your time? Did you have a good time here? I'm like, yeah.
No, I had some bad gnocchi.
No, but they were like, yeah, is there anything you want to try before you leave? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I haven't had a good souvlaki here. Like, what's a good place you guys go to get like the best souvlaki? And they said, oh, you've tried souvlaki? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, is there a good one? And they're like, no, you've tried souvlaki. And so I'm like, come on. I thought he was doing a bit. And he goes, no, really, it's not good. And I'm like, well, there must be like the best souvlaki in town. So they took me to this little local spot. And again, it's just like the Philly cheesesteak. It was the best souvlaki I've ever had and only slightly better than the worst. It's just not a good food.
You know what's amazing that comes from Greece? Baklava.
I love baklava.
That's true, but it's also a regional thing, Kirk. The Greeks can't get full credit for baklava.
Okay, here comes the Armenian.
Yeah, there's a Arabic baklava. There's Persian baklava.
There's Turkish baklava.
Yeah, there's Turkish baklava.
Is there American baklava?
Hey, man,
Yeah,
soon there will be.
Yeah, Middle Easterners make it. It's a Mediterranean. It's like I don't know what the origin country is, but and every country has a little spin on it.
Baklava, though. I mean, and what I like about it is it takes so much fucking work.
Yeah, you don't have to eat a lot to be real happy.
And it's just like it's so much goddamn work to make it. And I appreciate a dessert that like takes that amount of time and effort.
It is, yeah. It's really good. One of the best things I did try in Greece though was baklava gelato, which was probably one of the top desserts I've ever tried in my life. And I've only had it that one time, but I remember it. It was so fucking good. And also this dessert in Greece called Galacto Burrito, and that's the real name of it. And I don't know why, but it's fucking bonkers. It's this, it's kind of, like phyllo dough and all that shit. Anyway.
I love this fucking debate because my favorite thing doing comedy is like going to cities and finding out what the food is there.
Yeah.
It's my absolute favorite thing. And it's never anything that's good for you. It's never a fucking salad.
In Cleveland, it's grilled cheese. You ever been to that grilled cheese place?
Wait, in Cleveland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like
you gotta go there.
It's like a gravy shot in a bacon cup, or it's just some bullshit, and you're just like, yeah, sure, we'll have this. But it's my absolute favorite thing about traveling is just finding out the weird ass food that they're excited for.
Yeah,
and I will always eat it. No matter what.
Pittsburgh has nothing. It's just Primanti Brothers, which is just sandwiches with fries on
First time I ever went to Pittsburgh, I had my roommate freshman year of college was from Pittsburgh. He was always talking about this. I got to Pittsburgh around 3 a.m. It's open 24 hours. First thing I did, I went there, got there. This is disgusting. And I thought maybe it's because it's 3 a.m. So I had it again.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Fucking disgusting.
What is it? Just a sandwich with French fries?
Sandwich with fries on it, and they're
fries.
like flavorless potatoes that are just on
and I believe they're shoestring fries too, which is the worst type of fry. A shoestring fry, don't fucking
Is
bother.
it the curly fry or what's the shoestring one?
Shoestrings are like fries, but thinner.
Oh,
You get
yeah,
like those little like
yeah.
bone pecker fries
Yeah.
that like they're like slivers. You can get them under your skin. They're awful.
Yeah.
Anyway,
God.
guys.
You know, Maddox, it's amazing the cross that you've had to carry throughout life.
Thank you, Ron.
It's just-
I really appreciate you acknowledging that because I suffer a lot with
Just
this
the
food.
amount of suffering that you've had to experience
quite a lot.
with your chewy gnocchi and your shoestring fries getting underneath your skin. My God, man. Thank you for everything you do.
You're welcome, Ron. Thank you for acknowledging my suffering. We could go on. There's so many different regional foods that are just garbage. But you know what? And here's a California local regional garbage food you can skip the fuck over.
California Pizza Kitchen?
No. You know what, Kirk? But yes. The local one is the California burrito. And
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much burrito.
yeah, it's just a burrito with French fries in it. Again, it's one of those things you're going to see a trend here. It's like, let's take a regular food and throw fries on it. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I can do that myself. I don't need to add fries. And same thing with all these fucking the trends in fast food. Like KFC's having like the hot cheese chicken sandwich now. They're like putting hot Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos on their sandwich. I'm like, I could
Nashville
do that.
hot chicken is the most perfectly rated of all the regional cuisines. Nashville hot chicken is so good.
Yes, it
and
really
is
is.
worth
It really is.
waiting in line for.
Now we kind of shit on Floyd, or what was the sandwich place earlier?
Five Guys?
No, Fat Sal's.
Fat Sal's.
So they did just announce a Nashville hot chicken sandwich with.
I'm sure it's going to be totally okay.
Yeah, it's got all the same normal like bar junk food on it, but some spicy stuff, and it does sound pretty fucking good.
There's a Nashville hot chicken place in downtown that's open late that I'm excited to try because I do like spicy fried chicken, and I love to try all the places that offer fried chicken in and around Los Angeles. It's kind of like my little thing I do on the every couple of weekends, and there's a bunch of places that I agree with you. It is such a delight to have. And
yeah, it's good stuff. I do like a spicy fried chicken. Like Gus is delicious. Anyway, guys, we should wrap up this debate. We've got a lot of choices here. We started out with Igor's, the Philly cheesesteak sandwich. We went to Kirk with Chinese food. The entire culture. Wow. There's like thousands of dishes you just wrote off.
Except for
Panda Express.
Whatever.
so Chinese food, but not including Panda Express.
Yeah,
Okay.
except for Panic, the real Chinese, right? Kirk, is that?
Yeah, the real Chinese food. That's probably why so many people starved under Mao Zedong. It's not because of communism, because their food sucked.
Okay, well, that's, you know what, Kirk, if that we'll quote you on that. And then then Ron, your pick was the Juicy Lucy.
Juicy Lucy.
All right, and mine, oh man, I had so many. I had gnocchi. You know, I'm gonna go with fry sauce. Fuck fry sauce. That shit is stupid.
Real quick, when I was in New Orleans, I once saw someone throw a bottle at a cop and steal a bike by lifting it off the tree that it was attached to.
Wow.
Within 2 blocks of each other. It was incredible.
New Orleans is bonkers.
The cop was arresting a John
Wow.
for soliciting, which is why is that still a thing?
In New Orleans, yeah, it's of all places.
And
It's like,
someone threw a bottle at him as he was taking the guy away.
that's amazing. Yeah, New Orleans is basically like a lawless land of sinning and good food. It's such a good time. I also, in New Orleans,
Best.
my crazy New Orleans story is I went there on like a 5-day trip or something like that. The last day, I partied hard every night. It was my sinning trip. Everything I did there was a sin. Too much drinking, too much food, too many strip clubs. And then the final night, I was just like partied out. I just wanted to go to an absinthe bar and chill out. So I walk into this... So you do to decompress. I was like, I just need some absinthe. So I'm sitting in this absinthe bar, and the lady's like, doing the whole sugar candle thing, whatever. Pours me my absinthe, and she goes, "Look out, there's a horse next to you." And I'm like, "What?" I turn to my left, and there's a fucking horse in the bar. And there's a cop on top of the horse. And the bar's door is giant, so the cop riding this horse in, and I'm like baffled. I'm like, there's a billion jokes that start this way. I'm like racking my mind for one fucking horse joke. Like, why the long face? Like, I didn't know. Like, literally a horse next to me. And the bartender, like, I guess it's a common thing. The horse comes into the bar. And so she reaches in a big pile of maraschino cherries and feeds it to the horse.
And the horse is like, I'll have what he's having.
So,
fucking half baked.
Yeah. So
police horse.
Yeah, it was insane. And so this horse like gets out of there, and that was like one of the most surreal experiences. And had I not seen the bartender acknowledge that, I would have been like, wow, am I really that fucked up? But yeah, New Orleans is amazing. Anyway, guys, we should wrap up this debate. Madcastmedia.com. Again, the choices were Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, Chinese food, the entire cuisine,
Yes.
Juicy Lucy, and my choice is fry sauce from fuck-ass Utah. Don't forget to vote at madcastmedia.com. We will have the results of this debate, the final debate, next week, Saturday, July 6th. That is the episode that we're gonna have some special stuff. It'll be fun. But madcastmedia.com and the voicemail number. If you guys want to leave a voicemail for the last time, because we'll be playing voicemails on the bonus episodes, which we're still gonna do a bunch of. But madcastmedia.com, click on the best debate, click on any episode, and the voicemail number is at the bottom of the website. But we should get a wrap up of last week's debate, guys. Last week we debated, is universal basic income a good idea? That was
I thought of it was like communist nonsense or something like that.
Oh, yeah. So
pink-haired communists.
Is universal basic income for pinko commie dipshits was the actual debate. So the choices were, yes, I'm a pinko commie dipshit, or no, I'm okay with technology making my job obsolete. And with 67% of the vote, yes, I'm a pinko commie dipshit. Hey, holy shit, man. I was expecting with this audience that we would have more people who are okay with their jobs being obsolete due to technology.
Turns out you have a bunch of parasites in your audience.
They're all in gang.
Oh, yeah. The Yang gang going strong.
It seems like I could see that. Seems
Andrew
like a good
Yang goes on all
crossover
the
for you.
internet shows. You can probably get him on this show.
We could get, well, if we can book him by next week, I'll
Do
hit him up. And the second part of the debate was, can farts be completely sniffed out so there's no trace of it? Because I met a security guard at VidCon.
I made it that far
at
in
E3.
the podcast.
Oh, you did hear that?
I did hear that.
Yeah. So at E3, there was a security guard who was having a debate with his buddy who was talking about whether or not you could, when he was a kid, he believed you could just sniff up an entire fart. And so I asked, yes or no was the options, and with 75% of the vote, no, of course not. That's stupid.
But that doesn't mean you should stop trying. It just means it hasn't been done yet.
Oh, man. Ron, yeah. What are you saying, Igor?
Put that on
Your
a
nose
bumper
hairs exist to like filter things, right?
Yeah,
So
but they don't.
If you had a big enough nose, you could probably do it.
So what you're saying is anybody could do it.
No.
Maddox could.
I was waiting. Fuck both of you. I know where you're getting at. And I do have a big nose, but I can't sniff up all my farts. I've tried.
Imagine the double dare nose.
Double dare nose would be hilarious.
That could do it.
Speaking of Babcock tips, Ron, I tell you often that I have tried, I think at this point, I have tried almost every single one of your tips, all but like one.
All except the teak bath mat.
Oh, two, because I was thinking the deodorant one and the teak bath mat. But the one I made fun of you the most was the vacuuming up fruit flies and bug.
Oh yeah. You went on board with that one.
Yeah, I called Ron like a couple weeks ago because I had some guests coming over and I had a fruit fly outbreak, and I was like very quickly trying to get rid of these fruit flies. So I looked around, I was like in a panic.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, and it also like stinks up your kitchen. So I looked around, I got a vacuum cleaner. I quickly like zipped up a bunch of fruit flies. Didn't get enough of them. It was very inefficient, but it was a lot of fun.
That's the fucking owner, man. That's you. It is a real life video game. You got to get.
You've never had vacuuming fruit flies until you've had it. There's something there.
It was a lot of fun.
Surprisingly satisfying, Igor.
It really was, because I'm like, man, fuck these guys. Anyway, Ron, we should get to speaking of Babcock tips, we should get to...
Listen, I've been wanting to give this Babcock tip forever, and I never have, because I know people are just going to like basically roll their eyes. Yeah. But I am a huge fan of making your own deodorant. Now, I tried to do this last week, but it didn't work out. So I know that you aren't going to like this, so I figured the only way to prove this is to actually give Maddox a jar of homemade deodorant that I made. You can use it this week, and then on the final podcast, we'll find out whether or not this is bullshit.
That looks like a jar of cum.
It does, and there's only a little bit of that in there. It is, I swear to God, I've been making my own deodorant forever, and I don't know if this is just because I'm getting older or what, but I sweat less. And growing up, I sweated all the fucking time. So if there's anyone in this world who can be a good test subject for homemade deodorant. It's the sweatiest person I know, which is Maddox.
Hey, thank you so much.
So there you go, buddy. It is a mixture. Let me tell you the ingredients if you guys want to make it at home.
Is it the remains of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
It kind of looks like that.
Okay, so I'm setting this behind my laptop for those of you watching on YouTube because and I'll tell you why in a second, because this thing, first of all, looks like a hand grenade. And second, Ron on his Instagram story just last week posted...
Oh, yeah.
He went into his office. First of all, the first batch of deodorant Ron made from like last week.
I was going to give it to you last week, yeah.
Yeah, and what was wrong with that batch?
I dropped it and it exploded in my bag.
So there's all these shards of glass in this deodorant he was going to give me.
I was almost going to give it to you, but I was like, I probably shouldn't.
And then Ron, in the same week, he posted on his Instagram story.
This is the fucking crazy shit that's ever happened to me. I left a glass by my computer desk at work. And when I came in the morning, the glass had exploded. Like on its fucking own. Somebody heard it the night before. They didn't know what it was until the next morning they came in. And I like, you looked at the way it projected. It literally just exploded. We have had so many fucking theories about it. I know I had a fork and a knife in the glass. Because I usually do my dishes in the morning because I just at work, you're just trying to get out of there. So some people think that it was a small earthquake that happened and that the vibrations of the fork and the knife vibrated and then it made the glass explode. Other people sent me stories about tempered glass made in China, how there's sometimes an imperfection during the manufacturing process and that glass can spontaneously explode out of nowhere. And other people just said a ghost.
Okay, so we from most plausible to least, let's start with the least, which is ghosts. Yes. But you know what's interesting? So resonant frequencies are a thing. I would look up if you're curious, Ron, what is the resonant frequency of glass, and then find a sound frequency, listen to that, and see if any time throughout the day you hear that frequency playing anywhere.
We also thought it could be an EMF attack from Russia, but just pointed at my desk.
Your glass on it.
Now, I think
something in it?
Well, there was the fork and a knife was in it. So I think that had the metal, like, I just put it in the thing just to wash in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think that something happened where there was a shaking, and but it exploded.
It exploded.
All over my fucking desk. I was cleaning up glass shards all morning.
Do you think it's possible, like, the cleaning crew maybe, like...
No, because the way, it wasn't like it was knocked over. It looked like it just exploded from standing up. It was like a concentric circle that came out from it.
Very bizarre.
It was weird.
Anyway.
But if you want to make your own deodorant, this is what you do. It's really easy. It's 3 ingredients. You're going to do 6 tablespoons of coconut oil. You're going to do 4 tablespoons, a.k.a. 1/4 cup of baking soda, and another 4 tablespoons, a.k.a. 1/4 cup of organic cornstarch or arrowroot. You just mix the baking soda and arrowroot together, and then you mash in the coconut oil with a fork until well mixed. And that's it.
All right. Well, there it is. If this fucking glass...
Make sure to melt the coconut oil first. By the way, Maddox, that's the only thing you got to watch out for. If it gets really fucking hot, like the coconut oil melts. So it's like it's kind of unusable, and you have to put it in your fridge for a couple minutes. But other than that, man, it's fucking easy peasy.
Okay, Ron. And what am I supposed to like? This he gave me basically a hand grenade jar of deodorant. Like, what do I do? Just
dip your finger in it, put it on your fucking wherever you sweat, which is everywhere.
Okay, Ron. I don't like the English you threw on
Dude,
that.
you're sweating from your eyes right now.
Well, that's true. Thank you for the gifted deodorant. A very dubious gift. It's like when you give somebody gum and they didn't ask. You know what? Hey, here's some car freshener for you. Why are you giving me this gift?
Yeah, there's more where that came from, by the way.
I love it. I'm gonna try this, Ron.
You got your DIY deodorant hookup.
My only question is, and here's my only concern about this. My legitimate only concern. It is white. So is this going to come off on my clothes?
No, I haven't had that experience yet because it really just dissolves right into your skin. Okay. And honestly, the real reason I do it is just because, like, I mean, listen, I'm a fucking frugal ass motherfucker. I love saving money, and I was like, I can make this shit for nothing. But also, just the amount of like cancer causing carcinogens and aluminum and shit in like Rite Aid and whatever kind of bullshit deodorant they have. It's like, that one stick isn't going to give you cancer, but like repeated use microdoses all over your life. Like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
I'm going to try this, Ron, not on a date night, but I will try this. So
give it a couple days,
right.
You know?
I will.
I'm sure it won't, it'll keep you dry while you at your computer
Hey, speaking of Babcock tips, we got a voicemail. Let's get to the voicemail. Again, guys, the number is at madcastmedia.com. If you want to leave a voicemail, we're going to play a bunch of them next week. Now's your chance, and possibly final chance, except for the bonus episodes, which we're still going to encourage you guys to leave voicemails. We'll play them on those. I listen to every single voicemail, too, by the way. So anyway, Ron, speaking of Babcock tips and deodorant, we got a voicemail about that. Listen to this.
All right.
Hey, guys. So this call is to Mr. Ron Cock in regards to his homemade shit deodorant. Ron, you probably smell bad. Just letting you know. I am highly skeptical that your homemade deodorant works. Maddox, you need to try it out.
All right.
We need to know this.
Yeah. Listen, I have asked my girlfriend, I'm like, you can tell me to stop doing this. I will go out and buy the normal deodorant. Just tell me if I smell. And she's like, honestly, you actually don't sweat as much as you used to.
Amazing.
So I swear to God, it's worked for me. I don't know if that means it's going to work for you, because I know working for me is like, it's like a different level. You know, it's like kind of like a community. Like, you know, if like sweating is like basketball, like I'm playing in a community league, and Maddox, you're like kind of in like the NBA. You're like one of the greatest players ever.
The all-star team at the Olympics.
Yeah, you're like the, you know, the dream team, basically.
Yeah, the dream team. Yeah.
So I don't know if I can, you know, I don't know if it's going to work for you, but it definitely works for me.
All right, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it for sure. We got another voicemail from a call. Okay, so a couple episodes ago, we talked about our fans entitled. And we got a caller from Germany who was saying that they are, I guess. But we got a caller call out about sports fans, because the German was saying that sports fans are the most entitled. Listen to this.
You know, that German guy last episode complaining about sports fans. Oh, boo-hoo. They're celebrating their team winning. You know what? You're a nerd. You don't understand, because you always got picked last in every school competition, and you're just salty about it. But actually, though, destroying shit is not cool, but having fun is. Keep up the good work, Maddox.
Hey, thank you, and...
Caller call out.
There it is. We got a caller call out. Yeah, man. Germany, you got called out hard, and you only have one chance as a rebuttal.
Sick drop.
Yeah, thanks, man. Made it myself. I make most of the drops on this myself, except for which one is it? I don't even know if I still have it on here. No, I don't think I do. It's a Rucka wrap up. Well, we got this.
Yeah,
but we don't have
one.
Yeah, that was Jesse P.S. who made that. Ethan Herber in the chat room for $2. Thank you for the super chat, Ethan Herber, super fan. And we got another voicemail about speaking of the most entitled fans, gun nuts. Listen to this.
You fucking morons left out gun nuts. They are the most annoying group of people next to vegans, and they are very similar to vegans. Because somebody's a gun nut, they will find a way to shoehorn their hobby into whatever fucking conversation you're having. It's obnoxious, and I don't give a fuck. The gun only has one purpose, otherwise it's fucking useless. I am leaving this message while I'm driving down the highway in my pickup truck, which I have customized in many different ways. I have louder mufflers on it. I don't know if you can hear it. I have a lift kit and bigger tires. All to make up for the fact that I have a tiny, useless penis. The rest of this message is for Rod or Rob, Dad, Bud. I don't know what's your fucking name anyhow. Your tip's stuck. I tried the tongue scraper, and I swear to God, it's made my breath worse. It's just moving that shit around. You dumb motherfucker, shut the fuck up, fuck whales, fuck Nazis, and fuck bitches, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck bitches to you too.
He is way too drunk to be driving. Way too drunk.
That guy's called in before. I believe he's from Minnesota. Yeah, he's a funny guy. All right, we got another voicemail about The Last of Us, the game, which I shit on pretty consistently, but we got some Last of Us apologists. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, it's been a while since I called in, but The Last of Us is still a dope-ass video game, and The Last of Us 2 is going to come out soon, and that shit looks lit, dude.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I used the word lit the other day, and I got so much shit from my entire friend circle. They were like, oh,
what was
lit?
The context you used the word lit in?
I was talking about like a party I went to, and
you were like, that party was totally
pretty
lit?
fucking lit. Yeah. It was a lit party.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking agree with this.
I definitely say lit AF as a joke.
Uh-huh. But when does it stop being a joke and just start being part of
I
your
would never
vernacular?
say it earnestly.
They should make a game called The First of Us, like those Bible games on Nintendo where
instead of The Last of Us, The First of Us is just like
with
Moses.
with Adam and Eve.
Yeah, Adam and Eve. That's funny. Chris Reagan, a long time ago, was like made this observation. He used the word fam ironically, and he'd be like, "Oh, what's up, fam?" But like after a certain point, it's not ironic. You're just using the word. And he realized that too. And the same with me. Like Tim Heidecker has this amazing parody. It's parody. What's it called? Honky Tonk. So he made this parody Honky Tonk album where every single song is about drinking piss. And it is so fucking funny. He has a song called Yellow Gold, Yellow River Boys. It's the Yellow River Boys is the name of the band. I highly recommend checking it out. And every single song's like an authentic. He really pays pays respect to the medium. He makes real honky tonk songs about piss drinking. And it's like slurp, slurp, running down my chin. Don't. But it sounds so good, and unless you're really paying attention to the lyrics, it slides right under the radar. So I think he like goes around the country touring and going to honky tonk places and trying to get his band up there to sing the Yellow River Boys. But I started listening to this album over and over again because it was so fucking funny. And then I realized that one day I was like, I'm just listening to honky tonk.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line for sure, Igor. That's a good point. We got another voicemail. Okay, so Igor, here it is. I saved the best for last. We talked about Five Guys, and we got a guy who called in shitting on us because Ron, I believe that was, and Kirk, were you on the episode, the fast food one?
I don't think so.
We talked about.
Oh, it was real lit.
Yeah, the first. Fuck you. Man, I want to dab so hard right now. Well, let's talk about being lit. We talked about the worst fast food chains, and I believe unanimously we all just shit on Five Guys. Well, this guy called in to defend it, and I think, Igor, you'll agree with him. Listen to this.
Hey, Maddox, it's Eric. I was the one that sent you the Five Guys and Popeyes are the best and worst of fast food during the podcast.
Oh, fuck him.
See, the thing about you hating on Five Guys is your one argument is the peanut shell thing. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of peanuts myself, personally. I'll agree with you on that. They're not that good. But, you were talking about walking on peanut shells. Well, it's because your dirty-ass, hippie-ass Los Angeles city, they don't know the concept of a fucking trash can. See, whereas out here in my hometown in the creator city of Five Guys, Washington, D.C., we throw our trash away in the trash can because we're fucking civilized adults. So when I walk into a Five Guys, there's nothing on the floor at all. Maybe a couple bits of trash or whatever, but nothing, nothing to put it against a whole fucking brand about. Jesus, dude. And during that episode, I was watching it live, obviously, because of Super Chat. And just because of that statement you made, I'd order Five Guys just to spite you. And I had the time of my life eating those Five Guys, bro. Five Guys is there for you when you need it. If I want something good, I get Five Guys. If I want something shitty, I go to fucking Wendy's and get a bullshit spicy-ass chicken sandwich. Which
This
is
guy
bullshit,
a lobbyist?
because it's not as good as the spicy chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A. There, I said it. See you.
Oh, Five Guys.
And we had a lot more arguments. I mean, the peanut shells, because we were walking on trash.
Yeah.
But also the ridiculous idea that they're giving us like a garbage bag full of fries and us acting like it's supposed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ.
All right.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Igor. Ron.
Yeah, go defend your $8 burger.
Igor. Yeah.
I'm also from the home of Five Guys. Alexandria, Virginia is the home of Five Guys. Not
great
Washington,
city,
D.C.
by the way. Yeah.
Even though I tell people I'm from D.C. all the time, because if you tell someone you're from Virginia, it's a whole thing.
Alexandria, Virginia, the home of Five Guys, and also the alt-right. But go on.
Yeah, dude, every time I get in a fight with some fucking Richard Spencer or some shit on fucking Twitter, it's Alexandria, Virginia. I'm like, what the fuck are these people doing?
Yeah.
And I just walk around there when I'm visiting my parents. I'm just like looking for one of these motherfuckers.
They have their fucking bill. I saw it. I walked by before Richard Spencer got evicted, but it was the National Policy Institute, I believe. And that's it's right in Alexandria, Virginia, and it's like the nicest area. It's such a nice little quaint. Everything's like mom and pops. They make quilts and chocolate.
I grew
and
up
also the alt-right.
Yeah, except the Five Guys there is called the Five White Guys.
I grew up across the street from Fred Upton, who is a terrible representative from Michigan. Very terrible right-wing dude. And Fred Barnes, who's on the McLaughlin group, who started the Weekly Standard, which is now defunct. Not important. What is important is Five Guys is fucking delicious. The problem with Five Guys is that it's now too expensive. When I was a kid, not a kid, when I was, in high school, when Five Guys there was only 3 in the world. It was like $5.25 for a double bacon cheeseburger.
Okay.
And when it came to New York, I told fucking everybody about it. I was like, you got to have Five Guys. We can find the blog on my website. Go to drivenbyboredom.com and look up Five Guys. I wrote a whole fucking article about how you should go to Five Guys now that it's in New York. And I went there and it was like $7.25 for a fucking burger. I was like, you could just go to a restaurant and order a burger.
Yeah.
Like, why? I mean, Five Guys is good because it was a fast food burger for
fast food prices.
Similar prices, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you don't respect the peanuts thing. Peanuts can kill people.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're just like, fuck you. Have these free peanuts.
Oh, wow.
Why would anyone do that? Like, it's the same with airplanes. Why would they do that? They kill children, and people are just like, you know what?
It is. I never really thought of it like that. That it is like, if you have a peanut allergy, like you just don't, you see a Five Guys, that is like, that must be like a fucking death chamber to you.
Yeah, you're rolling the dice for sure. Well, this guy, so we were talking about how Five Guys just has like trash everywhere, like peanut shells and shit. And this guy's like, not my home state of DC. So I went to Google and I searched on Google Images, just peanut shells, Five Guys, and there's so many images, but they're all from different Five Guys around the country. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's any in DC. So I went to DC's Yelp page in Washington, D.C., and I looked up Five Guys, all the regional Five Guys, and I think I found the original Five Guys in D.C.
It's gone now. So you
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, then I found one of the... there was like 3
Actually,
Five
the
Guys.
original one was in a food court in a mall.
I believe that.
But I never went to that one.
I absolutely
the first
believe that.
real one.
Yeah. And so it's gone now, huh? That's unfortunate. So we looked up Five Guys, and I have here a review from the Yelp page of two different Five Guys in DC. So 2 different DC Five Guys. This one says, Ron, remember you were complaining about the number of fries they give you at Five Guys?
Yeah. Too many fries.
They give you less than they used to.
Oh.
Yeah, well, thank God. They said here, free refills on the drinks, and right next to the door on the way out on both sides are these big boxes of peanuts you can grab and eat. Why? I have no idea what it has to do with burgers, but whatever. And then, as far as finding this place, it was a bit difficult, but there's so many Five Guys in DC. Oh, and did I mention the fries? There were 3 of us, and one small would have been enough for all of us. Seriously. They give me this brown sack, and it's stuffed with fries. We ended up tossing a lot of potatoes, because seriously, who can eat that many spuds? Last thing, I think bacon just comes on the burgers, because we didn't ask for it. There it was. Weird. For those who care, the bathroom was clean. And then here's another.
If that wasn't a 5-star review, I don't know what it is.
It wasn't. It was 3 stars.
What a fucking animal.
And here's a 1-star review of
He
the
should be
Five Guys.
euthanized.
Oh, damn. Here's another review from the Capitol Heights, Maryland, Larry G. This is from the Five Guys in Washington, D.C. at 808 H Street. Northwest. So it's a 1-star review. He says, I really don't get how people just rave and rave about this place. I heard so much about Five Guys, so I thought I'd go in and check it out since there was one near my work. I get there and immediately am put off by the peanut shells disposed on the floor. I didn't realize that we were in Spain. He goes, of course it was done with napkins. Anyways, I get the typical burger and fries. The burger was just greasy. Okay, I know that all burgers are greasy, but this was just dripping grease. It was like you had to be oh so careful or else your shirt is forever ruined by a grease stain. Their fries is one of those boardwalk
Personal
fries.
responsibility.
Yeah, now all about personal responsibility. In other words, you just might get a fabulous order of fries. You just might get a soggy, undercooked fries. Well, mine just happened to be not quite done, so I immediately lost interest in the fries. Nah, I'd rather walk an extra block down the street to Fuddruckers. Okay, well, that guy lost, lost the whole argument there, but that was a 1-star review from DC.
Fuddruckers, also great.
All right, and to that caller... Douchebag of the week for defending Five Guys and making me go to the Yelp page of the DC Five Guys. Anyway, guys, that's it. We should wrap this up. Igor, where can people find you?
At Driven by Boredom on anything. Just Driven by Boredom.
Driven by Boredom on Twitter, your website, Instagram, all there. And guys, it's really worth a follow. Igor is an amazing photographer, and he's been a longtime friend. And we, I'm proud of seeing your trajectory, man. Really proud of where you've come from. Like, it was just like, what, like 15, 20 years ago or something like that? No, probably about 15 years.
He's got a blue check mark on Twitter.
That's right.
That's what we were talking about.
That's right.
I just celebrated my 18th anniversary of my website, so
man.
it's pretty close to that, probably.
Yeah, I'm at 21, so we started right around the same time. And Kirk, where can people find you?
Kirk WIlcox on Twitter, Kirk WIlcox on YouTube, Kirkomania on Twitch.
That's right. And please follow Kirk, because Kirk, you just got Mario Maker 2.
Yes.
It's a delightful game. And Kirk is a fun streamer to watch because he does his due diligence. He plays through the levels. He doesn't just fuck around and, complain about how hard these levels are. Kirk actually tries to finish these levels, and they're so much fun because sometimes you see the folly coming like screens away. It's like, oh, he should have saved that turtle shell because you're going to need it later. And he didn't. And they're so much fun to watch. It actually
happened today on Mario Maker 2.
Oh, did it? Yeah, they're so much fun. And Kirk posts those highlights on his Instagram. And Ron, where can people find you?
You find me at HeyRon on Instagram and Ron Babcock on Twitter, or just my website, heyron.com. And I got an album that you can listen to for free on Spotify right now called This Guy.
This guy, it's super funny. And also, stay tuned for the stuff that Ron is working on.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the Babcock tips. Don't worry, they're not going away. They're still going to be coming at you.
That's right. I'm super proud. And, it's one of the reasons that, we'll be talking about the final episode of the show next week. You don't want to miss it, guys. Tune in. It's going
to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. We're going to have a volley of guests and a lot of interesting stuff going on next week. But, we'll wrap it up there. And you can follow me at Maddox Rules. Check out madcastmedia.com. But until next time, I'm Maddox. Thank you to my Rear Admiral of Tangents, Ron Babcock.
Thank you, Maddox.
Thank you to the Deputy Moderator, Kirk WIlcox.
Happy birthday to me.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Kirk.
Your birthday?
Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday.
I've done nothing to celebrate.
But most of all, you're welcome.
Hey, man, it's been a while before I fuck this one up.
Oh, man, I love those fuck-ups. Keep those coming, guys.
Hey there. Don't forget to subscribe to Madcast shows on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app. Okay, bye. Madcast Media Network.